You want your first business to be something that is operationally sound so that you can use it as a platform and a foundation to grow from there.
Man, I love that.
One of the other things, though, that I think is really important is to think about the historical financials when it comes to due diligence, because you should try to get as much of that as you can. In particular, if you're looking at using any kind of bank financing, you need some of that. But I give the caveat of a couple of things. One, it's a small business. Every small business owner is running expenses through these businesses. So it's really important to understand what are expenses that are a part of the business and what are expenses that are not a part of the business. Whether you need an accountant or someone to help walk through some of those expenses, it's important to understand that. But the other thing that I always like to point out is these are really operationally intensive businesses where if you were to look at financials from 2 years ago, let's say, and let's say the business looked really bad, it could be completely different today. And it's why historicals are important, but we put the most weight on the last 3 to 6 months. As an example, let's say 2 years ago, everything looked horrible. But in the last 2 years, they've replaced half of their drivers. They've added 10 new trucks to completely swap out all of those trucks. All of the problems were on the repair and maintenance expenses and payroll. And now the business today has an amazing margin. The inverse could be true too. You see a business that 2 years ago looked amazing. Drivers, they're paying too much. The margins are horrible. So that's the business that you're ultimately buying. You're buying those trucks and you're buying those drivers. So from a due diligence perspective, I always encourage people to really spend the most time understanding what the business looks like today. What are the trucks and what are the drivers that you're inheriting? What does the revenue look like today on the current contract? Look at the trajectory. You need to see kind of the trends, but that's where I say to spend the most time.
January 8th and 9th, myself and the Truck and Hustle team will be in Nashville, Tennessee for the Route Consultant Annual Expo. This is where you can learn everything about routes, FedEx routes, bread routes, waste management, whatever you want to get into, they're going to be talking about it there. To register is absolutely free. I hope to see you all there. Let's go.